Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront Updates and something I would like to call leak review. As you guys probably know, I don't talk too much about leaks unless there's something from someone who has already proven to be correct, such as some info back in the day. But I felt like it has been a mistake to not talk about it. All I gotta do is make it clear that I am talking about a leak, because lately, unfortunately, there are people who will abuse fake leaks for their own gain by making videos with really clickbaity titles that will then mislead people and make them think that the leaks are actually legit. And then the rest of us have to clear up the mess when we get 100 comments saying, "Oh my god, did you see that this new skin is confirmed?" and so on and so on. It's really frustrating, so I figured I would try to do this on the other spectrum. Whenever there is a leak that blows up in the community, I can talk a little bit about it and say, do I think it's legit, do I think it's not legit, and what are my thoughts on it, so that I at least share those thoughts in a video, because I do usually talk about it in my streams, but obviously not everyone will be watching my stream at that given point. So maybe this is a good idea, maybe it's not, I'm not quite sure. You guys feel free to let me know what you think about this video and what other way I could do it with. So first of all, we obviously have that Crimson Dawn mall skin leak that popped up a couple of days ago, which is actually unrelated to this leak, but I wanted to bring it up briefly anyways. And first of all, there's really nothing that proves that that leak is legit. All someone has done is take a photo of the skin selection and added the Crimson Dawn there. Even I could do that Photoshop, and I'm not particularly good in Photoshop, so the fact that that blows up really makes no sense to me. There's been more credible leaks that has then been proven to be wrong, but this is literally something anyone could do. And on Sith Post Saturday on the subreddit, people started doing their own Photoshops just to show how easy it is to do that. So I would really take those kind of leaks as nothing, because if the person who posted that image of the mall skin leak wanted it to be legit, if he actually wanted people to believe him, he would have shown the entire screen and he would have shown how the actual skin looked, even if it isn't finished, because that would at least give it some credibility. It doesn't make any sense to me that you will only take a screenshot of this super simple part of the UI that anyone could really remake. And something I also want to clarify when I'm talking about these leaks is that I want them to be true. I really want them to be true, because most of the cases the leaks have good news. But I just don't want to be in another one of these situations where the community hypes up some fake leaks and then everyone gets disappointed. And why did they get disappointed? Well, because of their own fault, because they overhyped something that actually came out of a fake leak. And that's why I would much rather say, I think this leak is not legit, I think it's fake, and then maybe in a few months I will be proven wrong and it's actually legit. I mean, if that's the case, amazing. I will say I was wrong, the leak was legit, and in that case, great. I mean, no harm done. Compared to if you do it the other way around and the leak is fake and you've hyped it up, then there has been a lot of damage done. So that's why I prefer to kind of tone it down and talk realistically about what I think about the actual leaks. So let's move on to the main leak here, coming from Blackwings04, who has actually been posting a lot just in the comments. And that's how the whole leak started a couple of days ago, where he's been responding about individual features and how they have been in works and whatnot. And he's also had some direct contact with some of the mods of the Battlefront subreddit and actually myself to kind of delve into more of the details of exactly what he knows about the future of the game and what he says that he knows about the future of the game. And he also provided some proof to the mods and to myself that did not convince me at all. And since this has already been posted now in the public out on Reddit, I might as well say that yes, I got to see that Grievous model picture as well. But since it was given to me in confidence, I am not gonna share it here, but just to say it did not convince me at all. It could be any Grievous model, and you could also see that it was taken in Autodesk Maya, which is a 3D modeling program. It was probably not in the Frostbite engine, but apparently the mods are saying here that they also got to see a Grievous model in Blender. I'm not sure if that's the same one. A Photoshop fan art of a spawn screen and the Sullust loading screen, which is apparently already present in the game. So they took the conclusion that they thought this was a fake leaker and that they were not convinced by the actual proof. And I am in the same situation. I was not at all convinced by the proof, which is why I was not planning to make this video at all, but then since it's been posted on Reddit and it's being upvoted as we speak to the front page of the subreddit, I figured I'd get ahead of the curve and actually discuss this in this video, because I do know that there will be other videos made on this subject for sure, so that's why I'm doing this video. And then another thing that I think relates to how legit this leak is that he also claimed that Ray Park had been in the studio a couple of days ago for whatever reason, and now went out on Twitter and said no, that just can't be true, because first of all, they don't need Ray Park if they were to do a skin. They would need Sam Witwer for the voice, and secondly, they would not be doing that so late to the release, because he claimed that we were gonna get the mall skin on the 25th this month, and that Ray Park was in there a couple of days ago, which makes absolutely no sense. And then Ben actually came out and said that Ray Park has not been in the studio and that the September update has already been finalized. So those were kind of multiple things that got debunked, but he then later said in another post that that was a mistake, and he didn't actually mean it that way. I mean, it could have been a genuine mistake, but to me it's just one out of multiple things in this leak that makes it less believable. And I just wanted to quickly add something here before I jump into the actual contents, which I realized after already recording and editing the video, that the images I'll be showing here is from a post from a General Grievous66 who made a summary of the actual translations. So I believe a link to the actual first translated version of the notes. It's a bit different with some more details on specifics around each character and so on. It doesn't really change whether or not I think the leak is legit or the importance of all the things I brings up, but if you really want to dig more into it, I will link that as well. But now you actually know the proof behind the actual leak and why I don't believe it based off that. And now we can move on to the actual contents within the leak, and you can judge that and see if you think that's realistic or not. But yeah, the mods were given a paragraph of text in French that has now been translated and posted on Reddit. Kind of like an overview for more than a year ahead. And I mean, I barely think that DICE has planned that far ahead, if they even have. And as of right now, we don't know if there's going to be anything beyond what they've already confirmed in the current roadmap. And trust me, there is no one more than me who really hope that they will be confirming that they will be doing content in 2019, but I still found this unlikely to believe. So this is gonna be kind of like a bullet point list, and if we start off, the first point says Chewbacca health on kill card, which is a weird thing to even phrase there, because I mean, we pretty much know that most of the heroes are getting kill cards, that Ben has already said that. And then he says that Obi-Wan's model is finished and they're currently making the skins. The default skin will be his Revenge of the Sith appearance. And then it says Grievous will have a rage ability, cape, and no skin. And all those 3 points are things that anyone could really guess. So this is going to be the first test of this leak. If all of these 3 turn out to be correct, well, then it makes it slightly more believable. But like I said, these are pretty much things that I have guessed in my videos already. But if it turns out to not be that way, and the default skin is not Revenge of the Sith, well, then we can just debunk this entire leak instantly, right away. But again, we'll probably not know the default skins for Obi-Wan until sometime in maybe early November, so it's gonna take a while for us to properly debunk this. Rage, and then it says Geonosis hunt is planned, and that lightsaber combat will be worked, a Maul skin, Conquest will be on Mos Eisley, private matches, and Utapau. And all of these are written down in kind of like the, I don't know how to put it, but the current timeline, because it then jumps on to 2019. So I'm not sure if he means that all of these things are gonna happen this year or in early next year, because we haven't heard any mention of private matches or Utapau or lightsaber combat being completely reworked, or Geonosian hunt for that matter. As far as I remember, Ben even said out on Twitter that they did not have any immediate plans for hunt modes. So there's a lot of things here that just doesn't add up to me, to be completely honest. And the next part, he says March, April, and May 2019. So that basically indicates that what I brought up earlier should be up to March 2019, which is already a lot more content than is on the roadmap, and I'm not really sure if that's legit or not. But anyways, under March, April, and May, he says 4 maps, Scarif, Jyn, and Krennic, Mace, Windu will be worked on / in the files. Really strange here, first of all, the fact that he says 4 maps and then Scarif, so does that mean 4 maps on Scarif? And I'm not quite sure. And then Jyn and Krennic, that makes sense that they would come back, but then it says Mace Windu will be worked on / in the files. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to mean. Like, when is he supposed to be released then? Because he's not mentioned anywhere else. What is it gonna be worked on during those months and then not released? I don't really know. Some people interpreted that as the fact that Mace Windu is in the files now, but pretty much any modder who has seen that has verified that no, there's no trace of Mace Windu in the files as of right now. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure that they have said that if they are prioritizing any heroes, it would not be Mace Windu. And I mean, I even know that there's been mentions of Ahsoka, Jango Fett and such being prioritized higher than someone like Mace Windu. Or at least that was something Ben said on Reddit out before they actually confirmed Anakin, that the top ones there would be something like Anakin, Ahsoka and whatnot. And I don't think I recall any person from EA or DICE even commenting on Mace Windu. So I would personally think it would be very strange that if they continue to 2019, they would release Mace Windu over people like Ahsoka, Padme, and so on. So that's also very strange. And if we then move on to June, July, and August 2019, it says Ryloth, Mustafar, Salosami, and Boss Pitti. And I honestly have to say that I had to Google those last two names, because apparently both Salosami and Boss Pitti are two planets that are in the Clone Wars series. Or to be more specific, Salosami was in 2 episodes of the Clone Wars, and Boss Pitti was only mentioned. And it doesn't make any sense to me. Why would these 2 planets be prioritized over something like Coruscant or similarly? I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense to me at all. Planets that most people probably don't even know of, and one of which has not even have a visual appearance in the actual animated series. But that's at least what it says on this alleged leak. And then if we continue to September, October, November, December 2019 and into 2020, it says Ahsoka, Jango Fett, those I guess are reasonable. October, Mandalore, requested by Disney because of Clone Wars Season 7. That I can totally understand would happen if they do get to continue development in 2019. So that's a reasonable guess, nevertheless. And then it says weapons, no longer cross-era heroes. And I don't know, those are kind of also 2 generic ones that, I mean, they make sense. Weapons, I'm not sure if I agree on no longer cross-era heroes, but I guess if we would get all the heroes that he mentions here, it wouldn't really be a problem. And then lastly, under no date, it says Mon Calamari officer skin, Sullust, hot contracts, Order 66 possibly, generic Jedi, Crab droids or Magna Guards, First Order, Riot Stormtroopers, Vandor, and more solo content, Rebels content with Lothal. Coruscant is very problematic, server browser and stats. So there is a lot of things listed on this so-called leak roadmap, I guess we could say. Some of which makes no sense to me, some of which would make sense if they continue in 2019. And overall, it's really hard to make out if this is something legit or not. I mean, you guys know the facts now, you know the base around the leak, you know what it actually contains. I am willing to agree with what the Reddit mods said, and I think this is not legit. I mean, some of these things could be legit, for sure. And if they do get funding in 2019, I think a lot of these things could match up, no matter if this guy is just making it up or if he is legit. I wanted to give you the facts nevertheless, so you can judge it yourselves. And in that case, which parts do you think seems the most legit and which ones seems to be the least legit out of this leak? But yeah, that's really all I have to say about this leak. Again, I'm really hoping that we will get content in 2019. This does not change anything for me in terms of if I think or don't think we're gonna get content. But it has to be either from an official source, of course, or from someone who has been a legit leaker before, such as some info or uninspired zebra, because those people have actually been proven to know that their leaks are legit, versus this comes out of nowhere without any proper proof. But yeah, please let me know if you enjoyed the video. What could I do differently for the next time if I do more of these leak reviews? Because I will only continue this series if you guys actually enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.